I almost did it again. Guys, welcome to my channel, where we discuss the popular culture of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I'm going to lower this a bit. There we go. Okay, so I almost did it again. I had a bit of technical difficulty. Basically, this new OBS software is something I've never used before. It's really fascinating. It's a great piece of software, and it was introduced to me by another friend of mine, Jay. And as I said before, we are a lot of Jays out there in the world. And this one in particular truthfully, I've never actually used streaming software before. So I hope you guys will forgive me, as always. This is something that's very new to me. But I really am looking forward to discussing a few things with you today. And, let's just jump into it. So I really wanted to talk about a few things which are happening in the upcoming weeks. And I also wanted to talk about some of the events that I'm going to be attending, and maybe maybe some announcements. And then I just wanted to end off with something about San Diego Comic-Con. I know it's getting a little stale, but it really is the big mecca of comics and geekdom. And I really just I had a great time this year at San Diego Comic-Con, and I really just wanted to wrap up and show a few little segments. Now, as always. Over here, there's a little chat window, and again, you might not be able to see it right now, but it is there if you guys would like to participate and send me some comments and we can discuss some stuff. And just to show you that it is working, I'm just going to go ahead and say something. And there we go. So let's continue. Looking forward to a couple of events that are coming up, but I did want to touch up on the idea that I was at a show last weekend, the one that just passed. I was at Con Bravo, and for those of you who don't know, that is a convention in Hamilton, Ontario. Now myself, I live here in Toronto, Ontario, and for the most part, it's one of the biggest cities in Ontario. If not Canada. It's also the hub of the entertainment district here in Ontario as well as Canada. We have the Toronto International Film Festival, TIFF. We have Fan Expo, which is a giant Comic-Con type event here in Toronto. We have multiple events here like Anime North and just a plethora of different things. And, for the most part, a lot of people come here to satiate a lot of their, entertainment value, if you will. But there are other towns and other great cities in Toronto which need to be mentioned, including Hamilton. Now, Hamilton is a really quaint little town. It was really big in the heyday of the steel industry. But when that type of industry sort of went south, so did a lot of the economy that was in Hamilton. And it's taken quite a while for Hamilton, the city of Hamilton, to recover. Having said that, recently there's been a resurgence of creative minds coming to Hamilton as a haven. Hamilton really encourages artistic expression, and that has really attracted a lot of creative people to come to Hamilton. So much so that in recent years, an event called Con Bravo has recently started to pick up a lot of steam over the last, 8 years since its inception. Now, Con Bravo started off as a multi-genre event, a very geek-like culture celebration. But in the last couple of years, it's really evolved into a more creative, content creator focused environment, and that's great. I think that this year, in a lot of ways, was a lot more fun for content creators because a lot of us got to meet up with some other content creators and exchange ideas. There were a lot more conferences about content creation. There were a lot more discussions. The gaming development aspect was also there. They were really encouraging video games, and coming from where they were, which was very geek-based oriented, a celebration of geek culture, and now becoming a little bit more focused on YouTube and gaming, and still having that wonderful geek culture environment, I think it really has evolved quite a bit from where they were when they first started Con Bravo. You can find a lot of creators who were there this year, including the Nostalgia Critic. He was there, and he's always there every year. Actually, it's a really great time. Other content creators include Erika Szabo, who is a wonderful video game reviewer and anime connoisseur, and there were a lot of other content creators there, including James Ronald, who is a really good friend of mine. And he is, if you guys are interested at all in video game music, I really suggest you take a look at James's channel. James takes video game music and reorchestrates it to, well, not orchestrates it, but reorganizes the music so that it can be played on regular instruments, particularly the guitar. And some of his renditions are quite amazing, and I really do encourage anybody. I will actually put links in the description below for all the content creators who I mentioned just now, and you guys can check that out at your leisure. And I really hope that you guys will support these content creators, as this is exactly what Con Bravo and events like Con Bravo are all about. The ability to share ideas, and for content creators to come and really collaborate with one another and try and just build new worlds, if you will. So again, Con Bravo was great. I'm gonna send, like I said, I'm gonna put a lot of links at the bottom so people can take a look at it if you're interested in going. And for a lot of our American friends down south, I think around the end of July, Con Bravo is a really great place to come up if you're not doing anything around that time. So the other events that are coming up, one of them is Fan Expo, which I don't tend to go to Fan Expo anymore, particularly because I was already at San Diego Comic-Con, which was just ridiculous. It was huge, and you guys can check out my vlogs, and I had a great time there. And compared to the madness that is San Diego Comic-Con, Fan Expo just seems like a smaller version of that, which is great. It is really, really amazing. But at the same time, I feel like, the only other reason to go there this year would be to hang out with friends and to, see some of the great cosplays that are there. Other than that, I pretty much picked up everything I needed from San Diego Comic-Con, a lot of exclusives and things of that nature. So it's hard for me to really get excited for Fan Expo right now for this year. Although they are a really great event. Don't get me wrong. I think they're an excellent event. They're run by a wonderful company. It's just another great way. If you can't get to Comic-Con, you should definitely check out Fan Expo. The other event which I would like to mention is an upcoming smaller event called Cosplay Matsuri. And let me just bring that up right now. Where are we here? Sorry, again, new to the software, so I'm just trying to get used to this. Let's see. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it either. Sorry, guys. Man, I wish I knew what I'm... How about this one? No, what's going on? Oh gosh, I wish I remembered how to do this. There's so many ways to... Hold on. Oh, geez, I'm failing so badly here. Sorry, guys. There it is. Oh, thank goodness. I thought I was going to keep going. Okay, so this is Cosplay Matsuri. It's happening at the Ontario Science Centre, August 12th, 2017. And yeah, it's going to be a great time. I think it is the first year for this event, and it focuses pretty much mainly on cosplay. There's going to be stuff like video games there. There's going to be stuff like panels and discussions and workshops, but focusing mostly on cosplay. The headline guests this year are the Twin Cosplay, who won the 2015, if I'm not mistaken, World Cosplay Summit, which, if you know anything about cosplay, that is the big deal it literally is pretty much akin to the World Cup of cosplay, if you will. But of course, it's a World Summit. So I mean, it just multiple different countries come from all over the world to compete at this stage, and it really is an amazing event in that regard. So it's held in Japan every year, and in 2012, the two the country which won the actual event was Mexico, and the two representatives, Shema and Juan, these two guys here, they won for their incredible Majora's Mask cosplay, and it really is incredible to behold. It's something that you have to see it to believe it. It was an accumulation of passion and pride and everything you would come to expect from master cosplayers. I believe there's a video floating around the internet, and if you actually take a look, you'll see the award ceremony for the World Cosplay Summit in 2015, and you'll actually see, I believe it is Shema here. He breaks down crying. I mean, it's so emotional for him to have won at that international level, at that level of competition. And Juan had to support him, because they were both overcome with joy. It was an incredible scene, very, very emotional, very, very moving. And they're going to be guests at this event, along with multiple other wonderful cosplay guests, including locals like Mel Colley. She's an incredibly talented cosplayer. Now, cosplay, for those who don't know, for those who are not initiated, cosplay is an amalgamation of two words. Let me see if I can just bring it up here. So, cosplay, as it is, it's an amalgamation of two words: COS, which stands for costume, and play. Now, this is a very Japanese thing to do, where they take two words and they combine them to form one word. And now it's become a de facto term for costuming, at least in the anime circles. But I do believe that a lot of masqueraders and a lot of costumers are starting to adopt cosplay as a word, because costuming is like, it's 3 syllables, whereas cosplay is only 2. And it really is a catchy phrase, cosplay. Anyway, moving on from that, Mel Colley is another one of the headline guests, and she's an incredibly talented cosplayer. Today, if you want to make armor, or if you want to make some sort of prosthetic that's not made of, that's made of some sort of other material, that looks like another material, like if you want to make something that looks like metal, or anything that looks like some sort of, prop. Generally, people are starting to gravitate towards foam, which is a very traditional material that people use. But some people will use another material called Warbler. But Warbler is incredibly expensive. It's a brand new material that's, I believe, out of Germany. It was popularized by another cosplayer. Her name was Kamui. And it's a malleable thermoplastic, which you heat it up, and it actually becomes malleable. You can actually like kind of Play-Doh. It actually forms to different shapes, depending on your the way you want to mold it. So it's a wonderful material, but it's incredibly and rather prohibitively expensive. So Mel Colley has decided that she's not going to go that route, and her material that she enjoys using is actually cardboard. That's pretty amazing when you think about it, because it's not exactly a material that a lot of career cosplayers decide to use. But she's been able to do it quite effectively and very impressively at that. She's won multiple awards, and really, I think she's an undiscovered talent in the, I guess, the sea of cosplayers out there. Like the Jessica Nigris and the Yaya Hans. Then we have other cosplayers like Imai Cosplay, who I've never met personally, but I hear she's fabulous. And then we have Ali Maho, who is an expert in wigs, and she actually is a representative of Arda Wigs, who supplies wigs and material and cosplay materials for a lot of the cosplayers here in Toronto, as well as I believe many parts of the states. Purpine Cosplay, she as well is an incredible cosplayer here in Toronto. Bex Cosplay, along with um, Mel Cosplay. I think these are two cosplayers who really have yet to be discovered by the mass media. But once they are, I think that the attention will be focused very much on them. They're very amazing ambassadors of cosplay, and their craftsmanship, their devotion to the craft is amazing. Bamsey Cosplay, I believe, is the Masters of Ceremonies, so she's going to be hosting most of the event. If it's not the Masquerade Master of Ceremonies, sorry, I'm not really 100% sure. And then we have other media guests like Erika Szabo, who I mentioned before. She's a YouTuber, reviewer of video games, Elemental Photography, Conmon Photography, and Alex Rose Photography. All wonderful photographers here in the local Toronto area. And they're going to be showcasing and demonstrating techniques on photography, posing, things that they've been able to hone over the few years and want to share with people at the show. There's also Jen Marvel, who is a VFX specialist, and she's going to be showcasing her work that she's worked on multiple movies, television shows, and she's a wonderful cosplayer as well. So she's going to be at the show. I'm very excited for that because, as a lot of you know, I'm a pretty big movie buff, and I do like a lot of special effects work. So Jen Marvel's panels are going to be really interesting for me. And then we have Online Kind. He's a wonderful makeup artist who is able to transform himself from just a regular person to pretty much anybody under the sun. He's done Ursula. He's transformed himself into a raven. He's transformed himself into an octopus. I'm going to leave links in the description below for pretty much all of these guests that I've mentioned today. I'm also going to leave a link in the description below for Cosplay Matsuri. And yeah, I really encourage a lot of people to check out Cosplay Matsuri this coming August 12th at the Ontario Science Center. All these wonderful guests are going to be there, and it's going to be a blast. I'm going to be there, and if you're there and you see me, please pull me over. Let's chat a little bit. I'd love to hear from all you guys, and obviously, I really appreciate your feedback and everything like that. So, what is it? Okay, Josh Cero is okay. Hi, Josh. Sorry, I didn't even notice. My apologies. I didn't notice that they were chatting. All right, Josh. Sorry, just all those soda boxes. Soda boxes. Bamsey's hosting Masquerade. Okay, perfect. Thank you for clarifying. So, thanks, Josh. I was not exactly sure if she was going to be the Master of Ceremonies or if she was just going to be the host for the whole thing, or if she was going to be just for the Masquerade itself. So that's great. So she's hosting the Masquerade. That's amazing. What do you mean by soda boxes? Are you talking about Mel Colley? Because yes, I do believe that she does use a lot of soda boxes for her cardboard. I think it's her de facto material. Extremely talented. It's something of which I never expected to see. But looking at her, wow, yeah, she does power through tons. Yeah, looking through her portfolio and some of the shots which she uses to actually build up her cosplay. Yeah, it's kind of incredible. You see a lot of Coke bottles and Coke cardboard boxes, and that's really amazing. So yeah, it's great stuff. Yeah, lots of them. Yeah, so one of the reasons why I'm so fascinated with moving on. Sorry, Josh. If you have any questions, keep them coming. I really appreciate your feedback. Thanks for joining me. One of the real reasons why I want to go to this event, not just one of the reasons, but a lot of the reasons why, is because cosplay is really coming up big right now. I mean, it's one of those things which is, it was one of those little things which was in the geek community, not, solely, but you would see it prevalently at comic conventions and anime conventions and things like that. But now it's reaching almost a mainstream type of audience, right? Um, I think it started with, if I'm not mistaken, Heroes of Cosplay, and let's just pull that up. So I don't know if any of you remember Heroes of Cosplay, but I think it was the first attempt at trying to mainstream cosplay. It involved a journey of several cosplayers who were trying to go to different events. I think some of you might remember it, and it sort of cataloged what they were doing to actually get ready for an event, what they were doing to actually prepare for a masquerade at various different comic conventions around North America. It focused mainly on a cosplayer named Yaya Han. And Yaya has become really a great ambassador for cosplay all over the world. I think that her style and her abilities really have made it in the world of cosplay today. She's one of the most famous cosplayers right now, and I think that she really is incredibly talented and really is worthy of that title. The other cosplayers, like Jessica Negri, some of the others who competed in the event, it was evident later down the road that the producers who were producing Heroes of Cosplay tried to create unnecessary drama in the show, and in a lot of ways, it really hurt the show's premise because we know that if you're in fandom right now, that stuff doesn't really happen. I mean, like, yes, there are arguments between cosplayers and friends and things like that, but it never really becomes true drama. But the way they were cutting the film and the way they were editing scenes, it just seemed as if certain cosplayers were at each other's throats, and it really shed a poor light on the cosplay community at the time. But the cosplay community itself, from what I remember, they rejected the show quite handily. Really were critical about the kind of portrayals that were happening at the show, and it really was. I'm not going to say rightfully so, but pitting Jessica Negri against Yaya Han, it really was kind of weird because we know, like, a lot of people in the communities know that these two actually are quite friendly with each other. So much so that when the show ended and they were allowed to start talking about their experience, both of them went on a YouTube video and just declared their admiration for each other and the respect that they had for each other's craft. So it really was it's kind of a black mark on the cosplay community. Having said that, though, one has to acknowledge the fact that Heroes of Cosplay was able to bring the fandom of cosplay and the cosplay itself into the public awareness. So it really helped to actually bring everyone who didn't know about cosplay at first and who kind of like brushed costuming off as just random fans making weird suits. It really brought them to the idea that these are real people and they struggle and they really have talent. And you know what? That is just so amazing. So we do have to actually tip our hats to the Heroes of Cosplay for starting that trend in terms of like bringing cosplay to the forefront. And it's been a while since anyone has attempted to try and market cosplay to the mass audiences. Sci-Fi Channel, who produced no, they didn't produce it, but they aired Masters of Cosplay, hasn't had a series on air for quite some time. But earlier this year, or was it? It could have been earlier this year or last year. I can't really remember. They brought back cosplay with the induction of... Sorry, I'm just trying to find it here. Cosplay Melee. And you know what? I think I like this series a lot better. I think Cosplay Melee is a much better attempt at, what it is to be a cosplayer. And they have a little bit more of a different format. The cosplayers are still competing against each other, but at the same time, they are pitted in the same room, and because of that, they actually converse with one another. And in a lot of ways, these cosplayers are actually, even though there's a rivalry and there's a competition, they seem to be, in a lot of episodes, most of the cosplayers are actually encouraging each other, exchanging ideas. Even though, again, it is a competition and, you're out to win. But they have incredibly diverse styles trying to create their cosplays and different, techniques. And I think that's really what became a better aspect for the show. The fact that, the cosplayers weren't just trying to outdo one another. They were also, in a lot of ways, trying to encourage one another to keep going and just to try and learn different things from each other, which was great. There are also multiple guest appearances. Like for instance, we have Vamp. I think that's Vampy Bit Me. If I'm not mistaken, actually I'm probably wrong. There are multiple cosplay and celebrity guest appearances, judges, things like that. And I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth. I think I just did. I don't think it's Vampy Bit Me. I think it's another well-known cosplayer. So please, guys, don't crucify me. I know that I'm not 100% up to date with all the major cosplayers in the world. So again, it's just another way that I think cosplay is coming into the forefront, and I really appreciate this new series for what it is, and I hope that it continues. Anyways, guys, just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an idea as to what I'm up to these days. This new live stream thing is very new to me. Thank you, Josh, for being here and participating with me. I really appreciate you chiming in. I will be at. Nope, I was there right there. I will be at the Cosplay Matsuri at the Ontario Science Center August 12th. On August 12th, and I really hope to see some of you guys there. It would be really great to see you. A lot of great guests. They have a video game area, things where a lot of great different events. If I was just to scroll down, we can just cover a few. So they have a VR playing at Cosplay Matsuri. I think that's a virtual reality gaming. Which, if we take a look at the video here, yeah, it looks like there's going to be some awesome video games in virtual reality here. That's going to be awesome. I think I tried it once. It really is an incredible experience. So that's amazing. The Maid Cafe with 1-2 Shine. Yeah, if you haven't experienced Maid Cafe, it really is something else. Basically, 1-2 Shine is a popular dance group here in Toronto, and they have quite the following. I believe this is their first cafe, and it's an opportunity for you to converse with the dancers and the ladies themselves at a more, I suppose, intimate setting, because they will actually dress up as maids and serve tea and coffee, which is a very Japanese type of thing to do at these cons, and it's really, really cute. I really think it's a great way to connect with your favorite performers. So really looking forward to the Maid Cafe at Cosplay Matsuri. Another group that's going to be there is the Utama Light Music Club. Now, I've heard them at Anime Shogatsu. I've also heard them, I believe, at Anime North. And they're a very good band. They do a lot of covers for anime songs, as well as some other Japanese songs and Japanese covers. They do it live. The performers are playing instruments, and it's a really great time. I will say they're a little bit loud, but really a great time overall. I really suggest everybody take a look. And of course, no cosplay Matsuri would be complete without the masquerade. Really looking forward to this. The judges, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, maybe Josh can tell me if I am or not, I think that the twin cosplay are going to be judging this event, and probably another judge as well, maybe Bamsey, I'm not really sure. Great stuff coming up. Again, guys, it's the Cosplay Matsuri, Ontario Science Center, August 12th. I'm going to be there. I hope to see a lot of you guys there. It's going to be a great time. If you're interested, I think you can still, if I'm not mistaken, you can still purchase tickets. Yes, I think you can right here. They are, yep, they're still on sale, $20 for pre-registration. And I think after that, it expires on the 8th, so only a few days left. But, guys, grab your tickets fast. I think that it's going to be a great event. I really do, and I hope to see a lot of you guys there. And yeah, it's going to be fun. So, oh, Mel. Oh, okay. All right. Josh just informed me that Mel is a judge. Wow. All right. Cool. That's awesome. I'm excited. I think, you know what? Seriously, if anyone has not checked out Mel Colley's work, please do. She did a competition a year ago, and she just did the most amazing Overwatch cosplay. It literally, I believe this is, if I'm not mistaken, it's hard to see in this picture, but oh, where am I going? Hold on. Where am I going? There. Okay. It's hard to see in this picture, but it's one of the most amazing cosplays I've ever seen. The LED work, the craftsmanship, just incredible. You guys really have to take a look at her work. Let me see if I can. Yeah, just crazy amounts of detail in this, and her performance that night was just incredible. So, you know what, guys? Seriously, check her out. Check out the Cosplay Matsuri, and I really hope to see a lot of you guys there. It'd be great. Josh, I hope I see you there. I think we're going to have a great time, and yeah, I think it's going to be fun. So, in closing, I just want to give a little bit of a how can I say this properly? In the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be talking about I'm going to be closing off my San Diego Comic-Con adventure, if you will. Probably talking about some of the exclusives that I was able to pick up, some of the stuff that I was able to do, and I really want to showcase a little bit of the cosplayers, the amazing cosplayers that I was able to see at the show. And in order to do that, I wanted to just give a preview of what I was able to see there and some of the great craftsmanship that I was able to see there as well. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Also, I hope if you guys enjoyed this episode, which it's riddled with mistakes, and it's riddled with I'm not used to the software, but Josh, I really appreciate you chiming in. Thank you for being here, and I hope that I'm trying to get better with this. This is my third live stream, to be honest with you, and again, the software is different to me. It's very new. I'm trying my best, and I hope you guys will give me as much feedback as you can. Josh, please send me some notes, what you thought of this episode. And I really would like to, thank everybody for checking out this channel. And if you enjoyed this episode, please leave me a like. It really helps me out. If you have any comments or questions about anime, cosplay, toys, anything that happened in San Diego, please leave that in the comment section below. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Geek proud, guys. And I'm going to leave you with, hopefully, I'm going to leave you with, I'm going to leave you with a preview of some of the great cosplays that I saw at San Diego Comic-Con. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
All the lights are out at midnight. I'm alright in hindsight. 'Cause all that's left here now is starlight. It's our lives in hindsight.